You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
You already know what time it is.
Perfect.
We got us some WWE and AEW to talk about today, baby. But you know how it goes. Before all of that, check out my socials. Follow me. RJD, RJ699 on Twitter, RJD_199 on Instagram, RJD199 on Snapchat. But most importantly, follow What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor as well. Let us not waste any time. Let's go. Yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. I am your host once again, and I am here. I am here to talk about AEW Dynamite, and we're going to really run through NXT because it was a rather forgettable show.
Get the fuck out of here!
But with that being said, hit the like button. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You already know What the Wrestling. Follow me, RJD, on all the social medias as well. Let's get that 200 view count up on Anchor. And let's get the subs up. Let's stop with the stagnation. Come on, y'all. Hit the like button, goddammit. All right, let's get into AEW. AEW last night. Coming to you from Philly. Now, coming to you from Philly, we had ourselves I don't want to say it was a bad show. It was just filler. Yeah, that's a good word. It was like a buffer episode. You ever watch Naruto or any anime, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and you're really, really waiting for this arc to start. Shout out to my Demon Slayer people. Shout out to my Attack on Titan people. Who else? Who else we got in here? Shout out to my One Punch Man people. Come on, man. I know I'm missing some, but it's all good. Shout out to my Dragon Ball Z people. I like anime, in case y'all haven't noticed. Hence, Demon Slayer. But, yeah, you ever watch Demon Slayer? Some in your Dragon Ball Z is famous for this, especially Naruto, and you're really waiting for this episode to start. Cell's about to fight Cell's about to fight Frieza, you hear me?
You stupid.
Goku's about to fight Frieza. He's about to fight Cell. He's about to go Super Saiyan 3. And then they hit you with this episode that was in like it was in a dream sequence. And it's like a waste of your 30 minutes of life. Well, this wasn't that, but this was definitely a filler episode. So as we quickly run through it, we started off with the JAS coming out, making their entrance. And we had Luigi Primo out there throwing pizzas. Shout out to him. I recently just saw Luigi Primo on TikTok. He was like doing the fucking pizza spin thing. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then he was on AEW. I'm like, yo, that's dope. Like, that dude probably got like 10,000 followers just for being on TV. That's awesome. Anyway, and the crowd knew who he was too. That's awesome. Shout out to Luigi Primo. So Angela Parker was out there. Danny Magic was out there talking about the pizza guy, talking about how they're sports entertainers. You know, they're sports entertainers. Jericho was talking about how he is the greatest Ring of Honor world champion of all time, even though he's only had the belt for like a day. And we did have Daniel Garcia out there, and he was talking about Ring of Honor and all the Ring of Honor champions and how he's going to squash Ring of Honor and he's the best. And he's going to start tonight, starting with ex-Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito. And yes, they had themselves a kick-ass match.
Perfect.
Get to that later. But after everything, Daniel Garcia said, looks, man. Look, enough, okay? Enough. He has a deep-ass voice, so enough, Jericho, enough, okay? Enough. He decks out Luigi Primo. He says, listen, man, enough is enough. This is, would this be entertaining? It'd be really entertaining if I just duff out Luigi, right? And he duffs Luigi out. And he's like, listen, man, I gotta tell you, so I got something in my eye, y'all. Forgive me. But he's like, listen, man, I got something I've been wanting to tell you for a long time. Jericho puts his hand on the mic and said, listen, before you say that, you better make the right decision and think about it. And this brings out the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, who tells everybody to shut the hell up. Tells Danny Garcia, you could be whatever you want to be. You want to be a sports entertainer. You could be a sports entertainer. You want to be a wrestler, you could be a wrestler. You want to stay there, you can stay there. You want to join the Blackpool Combat Club, you could also do that. Everybody goes crazy because everybody loves that. And then he said, you know what? He said, you know what? It would be entertaining to see this. It would be entertaining to see that. But you know what would be really entertaining? It would be entertaining if Daniel Garcia teams with Bryan Danielson to fight you and your boy Sammy Guevara. Wouldn't that be entertaining? And Daddy Magic said, you know what? I'm tired of it. I cannot do that Daddy Magic accent, but it's awesome. It's like, you know what? If you're so tough, I feel like I knock you out right now. And thus started an impromptu match because Danielson was like, really? Right now? You'll fight me right now? Well, you know what? TK said I could come out here and fight. And you just said you wanted to fight me. So you know what? Let's fight.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
And Danny Magic proceeded to fight Bryan Danielson and get smoked. The end came when Claudio Castagnoli came down and uppercutted Angelo Parker out of his shoes, which was hilarious. Strongest brother pound for pound in wrestling. I'm telling you, that damn Claudio. And he picked him up, raised his edge style, and literally carried him out like he was 2 pounds. And then Mr. Mike ate the knee to the face. And put on the label lock, and got the win. So that was cool. We had a video package for Mr. Moxley versus Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson said, I hate John Moxley. I beat him already. And I'll beat him again for the AEW title. Back from break, we had Wheeler Yuta come out. And I'm not going to lie. Wheeler Yuta did better. I still think MJF got him. Because Wheeler Yuta, MJF is so good. Like, and Wheeler Yuta, it was his hometown of Philly. So everybody should have been like, but the problem was, it's like, I don't know what was missing. Wheeler Yuta was fired up. He got the hometown crowd behind him. And he got a couple of pops, but I think Wheeler Yuta ran on a little, maybe 2 minutes too long. He should have like cut that promo down a little bit. Because there were parts of it where the crowd was quiet and then they got crazy. And then there were parts of it that they got crazy. So it was weird. But he came out, said he was going to whoop MJF's ass, basically. He said, oh, you're the king of low-hanging fruit. You know, but Philly don't get too excited. MJF likes to run and hide behind the inner circle, behind the pinnacle, behind the firm, behind this very microphone. Because, you know, once the bell rings, he can't hang. I mean, listen, we all know that's not true.
Stop the cap.
But it was a good promo. And he said he'll adjust the crowd on MJF's behalf, running around, all the cheap heat, the cheap sports town heat and all of that, before calling him. And he said, come down here so I can give you the ass kicking that you deserve. He basically was like, get over here. And Wheeler Yuta, shout out to him, man. But MJF came out and was like,
How dare you?
he mocked Tony Schiavone. He came out to a lot of cheers. But he called Tony a fat old prick and got the crowd to turn against him again. And he said, everyone here in this polka dunk arena, except Wheeler, who gives credit. They grew up in the sport together, and they wrestled up and down North America. So he can admit Wheeler Yuta is one of the best in the world. So he gave him props. Then he began to shit with him. He said, but going toe to toe with Daddy last week was a big mistake. So Daddy had to spank you. MJF is such a jackass. So he was like, he talked about how Yuta has no charisma. He's got as much charisma as Joe Frazier does. By the way, Joe Frazier's dead. He talked trash about the local sports team as always. He's like, says he's way more richer than you. I'm richer than you, and I'm richer than you at home. So he's richer than everybody. But he will fight Wheeler Yuta next week. So everybody got mad.
You stupid.
Surprise, motherfucker.
He wasn't going to fight you. You thought he was going to fight you this week? Oh, hell no. He wasn't fighting you this week. So he said he doesn't want to give Philly the benefit of hearing his catchphrase. So the Ass Boys came out once Wheeler Yuta said, I'm going to come down there and beat your ass myself. And he said, whoa, 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 whoa. So after the Ass Boys came out, he said, because he's better than you, and you know it. So we had a commercial. We had Sanjay Dutt and company cut a promo about how Jay Lethal is going to be Darby Allin. Darby Allin needs to remind himself exactly what he's capable of. So he's about to do some crazy shit. And then we had John Moxley versus Juice Robinson. We had a good back and forth match here. The end came. Juice Robinson took a lot of this match. John Moxley bled. Oh, what a surprise.
You activated my trap card.
So he hit Pulp Fiction, but he kicked out of Pulp Fiction. Basically, the unprettier is Pulp Fiction. There was a back breaker rack. He spun him out. Moxley landed on his feet. Hit the knee trembler. 2 count. Then he hit, I think he hit him with the Death Rider. Then he put him into a cross arm bar, and that was all she wrote. Moxley wins by submission. Hangman came down, went toe-to-toe. He went toe-to-toe with Mr. Moxley, and he said, listen, I'm going to get that title. He said, you're going to get that title. He said, I'm going to get that title. And then MJF said, whoa, 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 you idiots. You're not fighting for the title. You're fighting for the right to lose to me, MJF. But little did MJF know,
Surprise, motherfucker.
Wheeler Yuta was behind him, standing right behind him while he was sitting in the Raptors. and proceeded to beat the holy hell out of him and give him a Philly beatdown all over the Raptors until security pulled them apart. This was great. The Wheeler Yuta stuff, I wasn't feeling it last week. Wheeler Yuta came with it this week. I am feeling it now. Shout out to Wheeler Yuta. Good stuff. We had another commercial and we came back and we had Saraya, everybody. Listen, I know I'm hitting a lot of Don DeMarcos, but I liked a lot about this show. But here's my problem with this. Is Saraya wrestling or nah?
Emotional damage.
Because trying to figure out if this woman is wrestling is giving me emotional damage. Because she came out and she presented and she said, hey, I am the revolution. The women, I started the revolution, the women's revolution, which is true. And I am the women's revolution. And I'm going to bring the women's revolution here. What does that mean, Saraya? I don't know yet, but I am the revolution. She didn't seem like she was wrestling, but there are reports, as I get into my news of the night, there are reports that she signed a pretty hefty deal that is dependent on if she wrestles or not. So I'm pretty sure she's going to get second, third, fourth, and fifth opinions, and then she will wrestle or not wrestle. But she signed a contract, assuming she's going to wrestle. So she came out, said she was a little nervous. She said, oh, so you did miss me. And everybody went crazy for her, as they should. We all missed her. She is a big star, and if she wrestles, she will be worth every penny. Trust me. So she said, listen. She said, you can give me time cues all you want, but I'm going to leave when I'm good and goddamn ready. And then she said, you know what? Let's bring the whole women's roster down here. Now this was weird. Not going to lie. So down came Toni Storm, Athena, Madison Rain, Sky Blue, and Willow Nightingale. That ain't the whole roster, but that is all the baby faces. Saraya introduced them, starting with Toni Storm, who's finally being utilized to her true potential as a fighting champion and the best that AEW has seen. And she's to be honored, and she's honored to share the ring with her. She said, come here, Toni. And Toni was like, she almost was like, no. So it was weird. Then the doctor, Britt Baker, DMD, came down with Rebel, Jamie Hayter, and Penelope Ford. And when you realize that Sheeta wasn't there, Riho wasn't there, Thunder Rosa wasn't there, you realize that, damn, they got this women's division is deep stacked, I might add. Good for them. So then we had a Britt Baker who is the MJF of the women's division on that microphone. She talked about how much she's given to AEW, including her neck, which is strong enough to handle it, unlike Saraya's. She made fun of how nobody knew how to pronounce Saraya. She said with psoriasis. I was like, ooh.
You stupid.
That might have been a low blow. And then Saraya said, listen, your name rhymes with shit. Because her name is Britt. So that was a decent comeback. And then Britt Baker said she respects Toni. She said she respects Toni Storm. Had high hopes for her when she first got here, but she just couldn't keep away from problematic people. So her new little tag team partner broke her nose, and took her out of the equation. Which is true. Athena did break her nose. Shout out to Britt Baker by adding realism into this. She said, but that's not why she's here tonight. She's here because Toni Storm has Serena D. Jamie Hayter will get her shot. And the crowd did chant for Jamie Hayter. So they like them some Jamie Hayter. I think Jamie Hayter should be the next one to win the title, by the way. And she said, one misstep from Toni, and you'll be hearing the words "and new." So Serena comes down. She makes her way to the ring. Saraya then leaves and goes on commentary. But before she does that, she said she spoke to TK. And she said TK allowed her to make this a lumberjack match. Which was weird. But she said she finally has a boss who listens to her and everybody cheers. So Saraya went on commentary She sounded excited to be there. She was good on commentary. Shout out to her. Then we had Serena D versus Toni Storm. This was actually a very good match. Serena, they went back and forth. Serena took a lot of the match. Back body drop, reverses. Storm goes up top for a diving crossbody. Serena rolled through into a half crab. Had her in that one-legged crab. Toni got away, got her in the corner, hit her with a hip attack, hit her with a jackknife pin that was reversed, then hit her with the Storm Zero, and Serena D kicked out. Perfect. This got me like, okay. Then they started fighting on the turnbuckles, and Toni Storm hit an avalanche power driver on Serena D and got the win. The ending sequence of this match was great. Power driver off the top.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm good on that. But they had themselves a good old match. More Serena Deeb on my TV, please. And thank you. Perfect. Then we had the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass backstage. Said the tag champs had got an open challenge next week. On Friday, on Rampage, Keith Lee came back and said Swerve is not here because he's disgruntled. That Daddy Ass interfered. And he said, you know what? I'm disgruntled too. And he said, Billy Gunn said, you know what? He's disgruntled. Tell him I got 2 words for him. Scissor me. And then they scissored, which was cool. Scissor me, Daddy Ass. Shout out to them. Back from commercial, we had Private Party, The Butcher, The Blade. And they were bickering with Andrade El Idolo. And he reminded Private Party that he works for Andrade El Idolo. The problem is Private Party deserves better than this. Damn it.
Nope.
Remember when Private Party was on top of their game and they beat the Young Bucks as the 8th seed in that first year of AEW? Remember how excited we were for Private Party? Remember that? Fast forward, remember when they joined Matt Hardy and totally killed their momentum by turning them heel? Remember that? It sucks. Private Party needs to go on their own, and they need to be built up, and they need to be having some kick-ass matches because Private Party is awesome. The Young Boys have been killed, slowly but surely. You built up the Acclaim, you can build up Private Party. Turn their asses baby faces, turn their asses baby face, and let them go get it. Damn. I hate what they did with Private Party. Sucks. Ricky Starks squashed Eli Ilsum. And then we had the Ring of Honor World Championship, Bandito versus Chris Jericho. The end came when Bandito got to the ropes. Jericho with 2 stomps and a suplex. Perching up top, he was met with a Uranagi. Bandito had an avalanche moonsault fall away slam for a 2 count. Holy hell. Go get some help.
Stop it. Get some help.
We had a couple of forearms. Then we had a backbreaker rack dropped into an E. We had a rebound German suplex. And Chris Jericho will not give up so easily. Chris Jericho pulled the mouse down. Oh, come on, man. He always does that.
You stupid.
Inside cradle for a 2 count. We had a big boot. And then we had a lion tamer. Bandito can't see and he has nowhere to go. Chris Jericho wins by submission. Post-match, we had Jericho on the mic and he says, it is the Ring of Jericho. Era has begun and he's changing what Ring of Honor is, and he'll desecrate its legacy by beating every champion that's ever held a title in Ring of Honor, and he will continue with Bryan Danielson on October 12th. He's gonna take out every legend, every champion, and every ring announcer, and he nails Bobby Cruz with the Judas effect as AEW goes off the air. You know what? I'm not reviewing NXT. NXT was not good this week. That's all you need to know. But anyway, I really, really like Jericho as a Ring of Honor World Champion. October 12th, they have a match. Bryan Danielson's been losing a lot, so I don't know if I want him to lose again so soon. But, what I would say is, it will add to what is Jericho's mystique right now as the Ring of Honor World Champion. So with that being said, that is your AEW Dynamite I'm gonna do a separate video. I'm gonna do a separate video for NXT. I'm not gonna do it today. I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll do that along with the news because NXT was rather forgettable. So we got news on Sasha Banks tomorrow. Is she or is she not coming back to WWE? Who knows? We got some more news for you guys tomorrow. We got new belts. I got news on new belts with WWE. New belt designs, I mean. So maybe they'll unify everything. We'll see. And that's all I got. So I'm out of here. Everybody enjoy the day. RJD, I'm out. Everybody be safe. As always, check out my socials. Enjoy the evening. Peace.
Dom DeMarco.